Hey, I'm just setting up the live stream. I shouldn't be too long. Fingers crossed I shouldn't be too long. Hey, I think we're more or less there. So we're on the ground with the IndiaFoxtEcho Panavia Tornado, and we're going to work through the checklist to get the airplane up and running. First thing we're going to do then is go and jump inside the airplane. I don't think we have to take the covers off with this version of it now. So let's go and jump inside. We got the torch on at the moment. That will switch off as soon as we start playing with the various systems around the airplane. So we're going to go and hit the power button, the quick start button, and turn the alarm off. And yeah, if we go and turn some of these lights on, then we'll get the internal lights on. It looks quite pretty in the dark, doesn't it? Okay. So let's go and see if we've got the external power connected to the aeroplane. So servicing and disconnected.
Roger.
So that's connected to power. I'm not sure if it's actually simulated properly anymore. There we go. Oh, not in 2024 anyway. So then we go down to the hydraulic switches and put them in the middle setting. And the air system master goes to on. So this is on the right hand side of the aeroplane, and there's air system master, it goes to on. Nav lights can go to on. So if you have a look at that from outside, see what the nav lights look like. So at the moment the wings are in the wrong position, which is a bit crazy because they should be at the 26 degrees. But anyway, you can see the nav lights have come on. We won't have any hydraulics until... Oh, we may have hydraulics actually, since we've got power to the aeroplane. Let's go and... No, we haven't. So... Just looking down through our list of things to do. So in the rear cockpit, we need to go and turn on the comm radios. So we're going to use the translation keys to do this. Oh, the co-pilot's in our way this time. So... what are we looking for here? In the rear cockpit, right hand side, the UHF switch goes to transmit receive. I'm just looking for it. It's been a while since I've been in this airplane, so am I going blind? There it is. And that should light up with some numbers, and there it goes. So the radios are on. So back in the front cockpit, we're going to go and put the oxygen on, which is over there in the dark, and put the anti-collision lights on, which are over here. So if we go and have a look outside, we should see flashing underneath the airplane now. There's a really bright light flashing away. And then we can put the APU on. So APU switch is over here. So we'll start the APU. And we can put the cross drive to auto. So this is interesting that the wings are still in the wrong place. But anyway, auto. Generators left and right go to on, so they're over here. Canopy can be closed now, so can we just do it with this lever? That's a good clunky noise, isn't it, as it comes down? Radio altimeter, so we can roll down on that and that will switch on. We put the what's it called again, the ESRRD, E-scope radar repeater display goes to test. Head controls, go and switch it on to direction mode. So let's go and sit in the middle of the cockpit so we actually see that. So you can see there, all looks good. We'll turn head tracking off for the moment. Then on the right hand side we're going to go down to the TACAN section, which is over here, and we're going to rotate it around to the TR setting, and then engine controls, we go and set the TBT datum. IFF panel, which is, I can never find my way around these things. IFF is over here. It goes to standby, and it'll be there for the whole of the flight, to be honest. Train following radar goes to standby. The primary flight instruments, we go and press comma to calibrate the altimeter. Then the repeater map display can go to mode T. And we can go and start the engines. So we can go and go left engine first. The real cruise will tell you right engine first. The Panavia book tells you left engine. We need to take the left throttle out of shut off, and it should fire up all on its own. So you'll see the RPM increasing. It's coming up for 11:30 in the evening. And you can see the temperature rising there. Come have a look out the back. You can see the left engine's getting hot. And the wings have now moved, which is good, so the airplane won't tip on its tail. Engine should be coming up to speed. Okay, so we can now go and remove the external power. So we can go in here and
Roger.
Disconnect external power. Wings are already at 25 degrees, so I wonder if we can get spills up and running. Not yet. We'll try again in a moment once the airplane's going. It's a spin prevention, but I mean, we're not probably going to need it, but there we go. So we can go and cycle the flaps. We're going to have a check of that, make sure things are working. So you can see the flaps have already moved, so we can retract the flaps and deploy them again. So everything seems to be working. Let's go and try the elevators and the rudder and ailerons. It doesn't really have ailerons in the normal sense. It has elevons and spoilers on the wings. Okay, then we can start the second engine. So go and click down here. Second engine start happens. Lift the engine out of shut off. Watch the RPM whiz round. It's a little bit simplified. You don't have to wait for particular percentages to do it, as you would in the real aeroplane. So we're keeping on the engine instruments while that's happening, but then we can go. This is only a simulator at the end of the day. We can go and jump into the rear cockpit and go and do what the co-pilot would be doing, or the navigator I should say. So let's go and turn the TVs on. We don't have a flight plan, so it's going to fail. I'm just going to warn you that now. Let's go and switch the navigation system on as well while we're here. So then we'll go and turn on the IFU 1 and 2. We'll turn the WFG to on and turn the master computer to on. On the secondary attitude heading reference, we're going to set it to free and wait for the numbers to come up. And there it goes. And then this is called the Inertial Navigator Control and Display Unit. So we're going to turn the bottom section to norm, and then the next one goes to IPI, and then after a few seconds you can turn it to nav. And this kind of simulates the real world, but it doesn't all work. It's always, you know, it doesn't have a real system behind the fascia, if you want to put it like that. So the rapid data entry section, like I said, we haven't got a flight plan. So what you would do, this is loading the nav system in from tape. So you go start here on data entry, and it loads the tape in, so it's loading your flight plan into the aeroplane. So in the real world, when you went to the nav page, then so you see it says rapid data entry failed because I haven't got a flight plan. So it's just coming up with nothing, which is fine. We weren't expecting to come up with anything. So back in the cockpit, we're going to go and turn this over to repeater now. We've got the nav display showing up. We can go and set the nose wheel steering, so there's a little switch around here, and we'll put it on low. Low will be fine for us. Wings are at 25 degrees, and we're ready to go. So we'll go and turn the taxi light on, if I can remember where the switch is for it. It's up here somewhere. Here it is. Interesting. Can we not actually set it to the bottom? Have they broken it? It's a bit of a random number generator by the look of it. So, 8, 7 off the parking brake. Let's have a look out the front. So we've got the taxi lights on. So we are at Coningsby, by the way. You can see all the Eurofighters parked here. Okay, let's have a look on the map, show you where we are. So we're going to be taking off runway 25. So we're just taxiing down. Is this custom scenery? It is indeed. So this is Coningsby from... Now I'm going to forget the name of the developer. You can get it from the Contrail app. So while this is hurtling along the runway, let me go and load Contrail. I'm just going to slow us down a little bit. And we'll search for Coningsby. I Am Scenery, that's the name of the developer. There you go. So it's available from Contrail. It's not very expensive, and it's really, really nicely done. There's something taking off. It's a Eurofighter going, look at it. So I'm not using ATC tonight, we're just going to have a bit of fun flying some circuits. I didn't want to get it too involved. It's a bit misty, isn't it? Some evening mist forming. So just before we go out onto the runway, I want to go and have a play with this. So let's go and have a look. Select aircraft, TACAN options, and then TACAN for ground stations for the United Kingdom. Boscombe down onwards. So there we go, Coningsby's down the bottom.
Roger.
So we've selected Coningsby. So we should be able to then go down here and set approach mode, and then set the runway direction on the course. So it's going to be 251 degrees. Let's just turn the head tracking off for a moment to do this. So we want to pull the course round to 251, which is the quickest way, this way. It just gives you a good visual reference. Okay. And turn the head tracking back on. Oh, there's that Eurofighter by the look of it that took off a moment ago. So we're going to turn our landing lights on if we can get this switch to work. It was a bit of a random generator earlier. There we go. Should we have a look at it from outside before we get going? Looks good, doesn't it? So where's he gone? There he is. It's good at night, doesn't it? He's gone off for another circuit. So we're going to hold it on the parking brake. Okay, I've got the control configuration issue there, but we're not going to worry too much.
$300 knots. $300 knots.
Just have a quick look at the map. So we want to be going 70 degrees and 250 degrees. Okay, so let's just pull this round another 10. Okay, let's go and pull it back round. Now we're getting an alarm because I dropped the flaps a little bit fast. About 10-15 knots too fast. Okay, so this is interesting. We have centre line working, but no glide slope. It's a bit annoying.
You are fast. $450 feet. $350 feet. $300 feet. $200 feet. $100 feet.
What's happened to the landing lights then? Because I left them on.
20 feet.
I'll worry about that in a moment.
$300 knots.
Okay, we'll try and come in a bit
Fuel
more
3,500.
a bit more controlled next time. Because that was awful. I was too fast most of the way and I didn't get it stabilised really on the glide slope. This is why we practice these things. And I wasn't sure about the landing lights throughout, so yeah, landing lights are supposed to be on, but maybe they just don't light the runway up. If I stabilise the approach much earlier, Yeah, it's a bit of a mystery. I'll have to have a read up on this, because as far as I can see this is working, but I just have no glide slope. I've had issues with the Coningsby scenery in the past, so it may be something I'm doing. We could go and switch over to a different airfield somewhere else to see if it is the problem. About 5 miles out, so let's go and turn back in. Bleed speed off in the turn and get some altitude off. So I'm keeping an eye on the PAPI lights now. And the speed. Let the speed bleed off as we turn in and get the gear down. Yeah, the landing lights are working. It's just they're not very obvious. Look, you can see them there. So we've gone low. So we should be about 160 knots on the run in. We've gone way too slow, look.
You are slow.
We know. Thankfully we have bags of power. So we're just climbing back up onto the glide slope. This is why we practice, to get good at this. Still too low and too fast.
$450 feet. 350 feet. 250 feet. 200 feet. 100 feet. 300 knots. $300 knots.
Okay. About 4.5 miles out, just dropping down to 2,000 feet, or just below 2,000 feet above ground level. Okay, that's 5 miles. Let's go and see if we can bleed some speed off this time in the turn, like we didn't last time. Just edging it back towards 2,000 feet. Still too low, look. Struggling to judge it, to get it right. For angle of attack and speed. So we're pretty much on speed.
$400 feet.
Yeah, one low again.
300 feet.
Low and slow.
200 feet. 150 feet. 50 feet.
'Deceptively difficult.
$300 knots.
Alright, shall we push it and see what happens? I need to fix this. It's the button I'm pressing to turn on the afterburners. It's causing that.
15,000 feet.
So, if we did want to go and try somewhere else,
300 knots.
should we go down to Lakenheath? So we need to fly about 150 degrees to get there.
$300 knots.
Open it up a little bit. Comes the sound barrier. Right, come off the power before we drink all the fuel.
$400 knots.
It looks surreal at night, doesn't it? Very strange. Okay, let's have a look, see where we are on the map. About halfway. Whistling across towards Lakenheath. So we need to go and tune in the radio for Lakenheath. There's a quick way of doing this in here. So we can go into Takeoff and we can set
10,000 feet
for a ground station. Let's just pull the nose up slightly. And if we go to presets for the UK, Lakenheath L is going to be in here. There it is.
Roger.
So we need to change the direction to the runway direction. So it's going to be 235 degrees. Something just occurred to me. While we were doing this.
300 knots.
Oh dear. Well, this is just not what we needed. Yeah, so something just occurred to me. If we go and click in here again and go to Takan and select ground for the UK, and we said fair for tomorrow, and there's Lakenheath. Yeah, it's 39X. Okay, should be okay.
300 knots.
Got above that cloud.
10,000 feet.
So EGXH is Lakenheath, yep. So we're going to turn to the reciprocal. Yeah, EGXH.
400 knots.
Yeah, let's slow down a bit and descend through this cloud. I'm wondering if this is going to behave itself any better with the glide slope.
5,000 feet.
I don't think it's working. I think we're going to be visual. Yeah, it's not working. There's the runway.
$300 knots.
We've got it stabilised better this time compared to last time. Famous last words.
$400 feet. 250 feet.
Oh, turbulence. And we're sinking.
150 feet. 50 feet. 10 feet.
That's a lot of F-15Es, isn't it? An awful lot of them. Okay, I'm going to go and park on the end, even though I shouldn't really be here. Or should I go and put it in a hangar next to the F-35s up ahead? Yeah, let's go further up the airfield. We're just being nosy now, aren't we? Hurrah! Yeah, the hangars on the left are empty. That's where we're going to park, just for a bit of fun. I guess we should go through and then turn around. Oh, that was a bit close. So, how do we go about turning this thing back off? Obviously that's going to kick off the alarms. And attach the
Roger.
ground power to the aeroplane. Oh, go away. So, hopefully you enjoyed that. I ought to go and turn the lights off, didn't I? Nav lights and anti-collision lights off. Obviously I've left all the computers on, but we're not going to worry too much about that. We've left it on the ground power. We can go and turn off the APU, I guess. Oh, it already kicked off earlier. Forgot that. We can kick the master power here, though. That's a good point, actually. It's only a quick switch to turn things off. How do we get rid of this out of the way? I'm not sure that we can easily. Otherwise, you have to go around. Yeah, here we go. Look, so turning the batteries off has put us back on the torch, and then we get to walk away from the aeroplane, or leave the co-pilot sat in here at least, and go have a look around. It's pretty good, isn't it? So if we go and press Shift... Oh, I haven't got the Xbox controller in. I was going to say we could go around it with the drone camera, but we can do it from this view as well. How close did we get, by the way, with that? About a foot away from mangling a weapon on the cart there. So I hope you enjoyed that. That was the Panavia Tornado. We took it for a fly in the night out of Coningsby, did a few circuits, then came down to Lakenheath and put it on the ground here. I'll have to go and have a read of the book to see about getting ILS working. I thought you could just tune the TACAN stations. I wonder if I needed to change it to Yankee instead of X-ray on the settings. It'd be something like that, something silly that I missed. And I'm sure somebody will pop up in the comments telling me what I missed out to get the glide slope to work properly. That's interesting, isn't it? You can see all the way through to the turbine blades. the engine. Very cool. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. Hopefully you enjoyed that, and I'll see you all again soon. Take care.